to try to break 3. I don't think it was in the car. I know for a fact it wasn't in the car today. I left on that number and was trying to hold it, and just didn't have it. So I need to go back to the drawing board, but I love that kind of challenge, and it's going to weigh on me. I understand I've qualified for next year's marathon with that time in my age group, so I just need to look at the schedule and see if it all lays out and I can come back.
What was the toughest part of training for the race, and also the toughest part of the race today?
Training, for me it was kind of the end of the week when I would get to the racetrack and I'd still have some mileage to put on my legs, and I had the race car side of life going on. Fridays are pretty busy, and Saturdays, you know, all the other drivers are hydrating and recovering and getting ready for a race, and I'd be out logging miles. In California, I had like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I had a 16-mile run into these winds. That was probably the moment where I thought, what did I get myself into? You know, I've had enough of this running stuff.
Why did you turn around running the other direction?
Well,
like an inch.
I guess.
Thank you.
I should have. On the way back, I got some of it, but the way I think it kind of shifted. I felt like I was in headwind the whole way, unfortunately. But yeah.
When you came out of the car on Saturday night, did you feel okay? Did you think, oh my God, I can't believe I have to run 26 miles on Monday?
No, I've been so excited for it. Whatever the challenge would be, there's a threat of rain, and we would have to do the car race on Sunday. And I was like, all right, you know, I signed up for this. I'm committed no matter what happens. But I felt good in the car. It was a cool night. Looking at my heart rate profile after, I did a nice job to keep my heart rate down. So I felt like I handled the car side well.
Was there anything that you encountered out on the course today that maybe you weren't expecting, either negatively or positively? Like, were you pleasantly surprised, or were you overwhelmed by anything?
There wasn't anything negative. Just maybe the rain in the beginning of the day had us all pretty worried, but it was nothing but smiles and a great time.
Did you hear anything from the crowd that cheered you on? Did they recognize you?
That was my big takeaway. I couldn't believe how many people did spot me. It was loud, and especially the closer we got to town, once somebody would recognize me, the crowd would get going, and I could kind of egg them on and get everybody pretty loud, which was a lot of fun.
That must be, I mean, that was different. You're in the car, you know the fans are there, but you can't hear anything. So was that exciting to be able to interact with them?
It was, and this also is kind of fan-based and competitor-based. At the racetrack, you know, there's 39 other drivers out there, 39 other fan bases that are out there. You don't always hear cheers. Everybody cheered today. Every competitor was offering advice or giving me tips, and I had countless people come by like, all right, you know it's your first, we've got this coming up, get another gel, and just people offering advice. That never happens at my day job, so there's never advice passed out.
Jimmie, what do you think is harder, racing in a car and a marathon, finishing a marathon at the age of 43, or winning the NASCAR at the age of 43?
I'm terrible at golf, so my mind shifts that direction pretty hard, but physically there's no comparison. This is without a doubt harder. Yeah, it's the marathon.
Were you rooting for him yesterday?
100%, yeah. I don't think there was anybody rooting against him. maybe some competitors, but that was it.
In your training for this, did you ever have to run on the same day you had a NASCAR race?
No, my coach was nice to say that I had Sundays off, but the race car really isn't an off-day experience. So, you know, I did run there's a Daytona half marathon, and then I raced in the Clash. It's a non-points race, and we won that evening in the Clash. So I did run the Daytona half as a training run, and then that event.
Where's this go with the trophies?
Oh, first of all, I know my kids are gonna be all over it, but it's gonna go in my office without a doubt.
Yeah.
Are the other big trophies in the office too, all of them, or are they scattered?
I have a man cave that's got the majority of my stuff in it, but in my office there, I have a Daytona 500 trophy, championship trophy, and a Brickyard 400 trophy.
Okay. Those are the only three in that office? They'll be the fourth in that office? This medal?
Yeah,
wow.
It will be. Yeah.
I got here kind of late. You said Meb handed you your medal. Did he say anything to you? Do you remember? It was probably...
Yeah, no, he congratulated me and was impressed with my time for a first-time marathoner. I invited him to a car race, and love to connect with him and host him and show him what our world's like, you know, at the racetrack. But such a special moment to see him standing there and give me that medal.
One more question. You talked about. I'm sorry. You knew about 2013. You do have a connection with the Collier family.
Yep.
How special was it to run this marathon
that was.
Yeah, it was super special. I wanted to come back and run after the bombing and be a part of it. The NASCAR schedule shifted at that point, and it wasn't a real option for me. So to come back and then to bring up Sean's name, and his brother Andrew worked in our engine shop, but he's not working there any longer. So I hope they're watching. I hope they'll read. The family's still in the area. Hopefully they'll see it and see Sean's name and know that it's been a pleasure to bring his name back up and honor him.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jimmie.
Thank you.